So the do now question is, do you think that people should be able to commit suicide if they wish to? So Ophelia ends her life by jumping into a brook, like a small river.
Can you change the question?
Do you think that it should be allowed for people to commit suicide?
That's a dumb question. Because it depends on everybody's, what they believe in. You're basically just asking us, what do you think?
Well, so it's actually illegal to commit suicide, right?
Yeah,
So no one's going to help you. It's illegal to help someone commit suicide, for one thing. So in some places, like in the Netherlands, they have programs where, people may be terminally ill, or they have conditions that make their lives really difficult, and they're allowed to, with the help of clinicians and doctors, end their lives.
What the hell?
Yeah. So it's kind of something that, questions a lot of people's morality and, our thoughts on life and death and how people should live their lives. But if you believe in individuality and autonomy, and that people should be allowed to make decisions for their bodies, does that include taking one's own life? Because in the United States, we don't do that. And so with the death of Ophelia in this scene, I just think it brought up a good debate that exists right now about, should people be able to have, state-sanctioned euthanasia. Euthanasia is what it's called when you put someone to death to help them. Okay, so I want to actually know your thoughts on this, so I'm going to be monitoring your digital notebook. So I have Giselle and Crystal. You guys are my only people who showed up today, which is great. I'm glad that you're here, but I was hoping to hear from a few more people. But I'm going to log into your digital notebooks right now, and we're going to look at what you're saying. So the question again is, do you think that people should be able to commit suicide if they wish to? And the objective is, I can analyze the impact of an author's choices and relate them to how characters are developed. Because we're going to talk about how people respond to Ophelia's death at her funeral in the graveyard, because people have a lot of different responses. We had Gertrude, who is really sad and says that she wishes Ophelia had been Hamlet's wife. And then you have Laertes, who's just beside himself with anger and sadness and grief. And then Hamlet will talk a little bit more about his reaction. So let's do our do now right now, and we'll get to that in a little bit.